I think it's safe to say that Fortnite's map is one of the most iconic in gaming history. From the serene suburbs of Pleasant Park to the eerie forest of Wailing Woods, these locations are more than just backdrops, but rather stages that tell stories, evoke nostalgia, and create lifelong memories amongst friends. With the recent return of OG Fortnite, I thought it would be the perfect time to delve into these classic locations and rank them from an architectural perspective. But before I begin, I must say that even though these are all opinion based, I will be analysing each location based on its urban planning, aesthetics, and functionality as a city. So with my bachelor's degree in architectural studies, I introduce to you my ranking of the locations in OG Fortnite. Coming in strong at the top of the map is none other than Pleasant Park, a location that truly captures the heart of suburban design. At first glance, it may look like just another neighborhood, but diving deeper, this iconic spot, in other words, is astounding. Starting with the layout, Pleasant Park is a textbook example of thoughtful urban planning. Its circular design creates circulation and a flow of movement. With the addition of homes surrounding a central park, it also creates an inviting sense of symmetry and purpose. Much like well-designed neighborhoods and parks in real life, this green space acts as a communal hub, fostering interaction and making the area feel alive. Architecturally, Pleasant Park offers a refreshing variety of house styles, each with its own charm and character. The diversity feels intentional, as if every home tells a story about its fictional residents. Contextually, Pleasant Park blends seamlessly into its lush surroundings. With its tree-lined streets and suburban charm, it feels like a piece of reality dropped into Fortnite's otherwise chaotic map. Add in the nostalgia factor, it's clear why Pleasant Park is more than just a landing spot for the players. This timeless cornerstone of Fortnite's OG era is a shining example of how thoughtful design elevates gameplay, earning its spot as an S-tier location. Moving on to one of the most atmospheric spots, Loot Lake is one of the most visually striking locations in OG Fortnite, offering a serene and tranquil atmosphere that contrasts sharply with the chaos of other areas. At its heart lies a solitary house on an island, surrounded by shimmering waters. While undeniably picturesque, this location falls short when examined through an architectural lens. The island's house, though quaint and cozy, lacks the depth and detail seen in more developed locations. Definitely not a bad looking house, but its simplicity makes it feel like a decorative element rather than a functional or innovative structure. Additionally, the absence of surrounding buildings or supporting features leaves the area feeling sparse and underutilized. From a gameplay perspective, Loot Lake's design poses significant challenges. The vast body of water, while scenic, hampers mobility and forces players to traverse exposed, slow-moving terrain. This disconnect between its peaceful visuals and frustrating mechanics highlights the area's lack of synergy between design and functionality. Loot Lake's charm lies in its emotional and visual appeal. Its calm atmosphere offers a moment of calm amidst the chaos of the Fortnite map, and for many players, it holds a sentimental value. While these qualities give the location a unique identity, they aren't enough to elevate its architectural and gameplay shortcomings, landing its spot as an unfortunate C tier. Moving on to our next location, Anarchy Acres captures the charm of a classic rural farmstead. Its sprawling fields, silos, barns, and farmhouse comes together to form a cohesive and instantly recognizable theme. Its simplicity is its strength, offering a rustic aesthetic that feels authentic and grounded within Fortnite's diverse map. Architecturally, Anarchy Acres excels at embracing its farmstead identity, but it falls short in variety and detail. One thing I like about Anarchy Acres is the rough edges of the buildings. It embraces almost a vernacular architectural style. Although practical, the structures lack the unique character or innovation seen in other farmstead locations. This utilitarian design, while thematically consistent, leaves the area feeling underdeveloped in terms of its building's diversity. Despite its limitations, Anarchy Acres' thematic consistency and solid building foundations make it a reliable landing spot. While it doesn't quite have the standout qualities to compete with other iconic locations, its rural charm earns its respectable spot in the B tier. Taking a break from these larger locations, Tomato Town is a prime example of how a strong identity can elevate such a small and simple location. The iconic giant tomato perched atop of the main restaurant is more than just an eye-catching visual. It's a symbol that makes this place instantly recognizable. This whimsical branding gives Tomato Town a playful charm, much like real-life restaurants and chains. Because of this, it sets itself apart from more conventional locations. Architecturally, Tomato Town leans into a roadside diner aesthetic, blending functionality with personality. The central restaurant serves as a focal point, featuring a straightforward but effective design with multiple entry points that encourage circulation and dynamic gameplay. Supporting structures like the gas station and residential home enhance the area's utility without overcomplicating its layout, creating a balance between simplicity and variety. Although its size can pose a higher risk gameplay-wise, its smaller scale makes looting efficient and engagements fast-paced. Set against a rural backdrop, Tomato Town feels like a quirky roadside stop, seamlessly blending into its environment while retaining a distinct, light-hearted energy. Although it may not be the most eye-appealing location, the combination of a unique design, practical functionality, and emotional resonance firmly places Tomato Town in the B tier. Moving through the trees, Wailing Woods offers an undeniably serene and atmospheric setting. The dense forest and central hedge maze provide a unique aesthetic that sets itself apart from the rest. The sense of isolation and tranquility is unsettling, but also appealing in how it creates an environment that feels distinct within Fortnite's varied landscape. Unfortunately, this charm is overshadowed by a lack of architectural depth and an underutilized design element. The hedge maze, while intriguing at first glance, falls short as a focal point. Its small and simplistic layout doesn't provide the engaging gameplay or striking visuals necessary to define a location. Later additions like the underground bunker added some interest, but couldn't compensate for the overall lack of variety. Compared to other forested locations like Lonely Lodge, which cleverly incorporates natural and built elements, Wailing Woods' single landmark feels static and underwhelming. Gameplay also suffers due to the enclosed spaces and limited visibility created by the trees. To be honest with you, the greatest disappointment lies in its unfulfilled potential. Wailing Woods has the framework for something truly special. The utilization of the dense trees, a larger intricate maze, or even a better designed central tower could have made it a standout location. Instead, it remains a scenic, but ultimately forgettable area, landing itself in the D tier. Moving on to our next set of trees, Lonely Lodge showcases how to realize the full potential of a forested setting. Its watchtower serves as a striking architectural landmark, combining form and function in a way few locations can achieve. The rustic central lodge with its log cabin charm perfectly complements the wilderness theme, making the location visually distinct and memorable. A prime example of what Wailing Woods could have been. The seamless integration of this beautiful rustic style with its green environment both complements and balances each other out. Nestled in a dense forest, this area feels like a genuine wilderness retreat. The serene atmosphere and thoughtful design foster a sense of calm that contrasts beautifully with Fortnite's fast-paced gameplay. From a gameplay perspective, Lonely Lodge shines with its balance of verticality and exploration. The watchtower provides an excellent vantage point for players, and the layout promotes a dynamic mix of close-quarters action and strategic positioning. For many, Lonely Lodge holds a nostalgic charm, offering a rare opportunity to enjoy the game's scenic side while still engaging in tactical encounters. It's a location that blends emotional appeal with functional design, standing out as one of Fortnite's most well-rounded and versatile spots. With the seamless connection of its rustic structures, immersive atmosphere, and balanced gameplay dynamics, Lonely Lodge rightfully earns its spot as an ST. Moving outside of nature and once again leaning into built environments, Retail Row epitomizes a bustling suburban shopping district, seamlessly combining a vibrant mix of storefronts and residential houses. Its realistic yet exaggerated design makes it a standout location that is both visually and functionally engaging. The combination of small shops and larger commercial spaces adds a layer of charm and authenticity. The buildings in Retail Row showcase a delightful range of styles, from quaint houses to diverse commercial establishments like diners and convenience stores. Each structure offers distinct interiors, making looting feel varied and exciting. The architectural diversity elevates the location, adding layers of interest while maintaining a cohesive suburban aesthetic. I think it's really cool how the open streets, tall buildings, and parking lots encourage long-range engagements, while the interiors of shops and houses provide opportunities for close-quarters combat. But what truly elevates Retail Row is its thoughtful composition. The division between commercial and residential zones ensures smooth navigation for residents, while the central shopping district acts as a natural hub for player activity. The urban planning reflects a level of detail that is seen in real life when creating a separation between this public and private space. With its timeless suburban appeal, architectural variety, and dynamic design, Retail Row remains a favorite and enduring example of what makes this original map so special, earning its spot as an AT. Moving forward to a quieter location, Dusty Depot's design is as straightforward as it gets. With its three identical warehouse structures, it creates a minimalistic industrial aesthetic. While the simplicity gives the location a clear and functional layout, it also limits its architectural depth and visual appeal. Compared to more dynamic and creative spots featured in this video, Dusty Depot feels both utilitarian and underdeveloped. It may not sound fair to criticize a location meant to function as industrial storage, but there are plenty of examples of creative and visually engaging industrial design. Unfortunately, Dusty Depot doesn't capitalize on this potential. The warehouses are identical and lack distinctive features, making the area feel monotonous. With no variation in form or detail, Dusty Depot doesn't showcase the kind of thoughtful design that could make it exciting or memorable. While the warehouse do provide functional spaces for looting and combat, the surrounding large, open areas create a significant risk for players moving between buildings. This lack of natural cover diminishes the strategic appeal of the location and further highlights its shortcomings. Although Dusty Depot somewhat stands out as one of the few industrial buildings, it doesn't do much to elevate its setting. The lack of standout elements, creativity, and narrative integration make it feel more like a placeholder than a memorable landmark, earning a respectable yet unremarkable spot in the C tier. Moving once again into the residential side of Fortnite, Salty Springs captures the charm of a classic residential neighborhood, with its modest homes and tidy streets evoking a relatable, grounded suburban aesthetic. Its cohesive theme makes it a visually pleasing and familiar location on the map. The layout of Salty Springs reflects a compact and efficient urban fabric. The houses are evenly spaced along a main road, creating a sense of order that feels natural and believable. Architecturally, the homes lean more towards practicality than creative innovation. Their designs are functional and serve their purpose well, but unlike the sophisticated layout of Pleasant Park or the diversity of Retail Row, Salty Springs lacks the creative or standout elements that elevate its structures and features. It feels more like a snapshot of an everyday suburbia rather than an architectural statement, which really isn't a bad thing at all. Despite its simplicity, Salty Springs maintains this very homely identity of a small town community. Its straightforward design and central location on a map make it a memorable drop spot for players. While it doesn't offer the architectural variety or grandeur of other suburban locations, Salty Springs is a reliable, relatable, and comfortable location that fits well within its context, earning its place as a high A-tier location. Moving back across the river, Greasy Grove represents the quintessential suburban neighborhood with a mix of residential homes and commercial establishments, providing the foundation of a solid location. The urban layout features the typical residential homes we've seen in past locations, but combines it with a few smaller commercial buildings, including the iconic Der Burger. One thing that stands out is that there is a noticeable lack of separation between the public and private space. The proximity of commercial activity to quiet homes feels awkward, undermining the sense of separation that a well-planned neighborhood should have. One thing I like about this area is the circulation provided by the roads, allowing accessibility to all these structures in an easy and cohesive path. However, the heavy reliance on these wide, sprawling roads dominates the landscape, leaving the suburb feeling underutilized. While open spaces in a suburban design can enhance the area's charm, here they feel detracting, not allowing for small activities such as picnics or gatherings. In a way, it takes away sort of a lived-in quality. Contextually, Greasy Grove fits in a suburban theme, but lacks a strong connection to its surrounding landscape. Unlike other locations which feel almost integrated with its environment, Greasy Grove feels isolated, securing its spot as a B tier. Moving down to the bottom of the map, Flush Factory's identity as a toilet manufacturing facility pretty much sums up the tone of Fortnite. Its industrial structures are both practical and thematic. The large, open interiors and the fine workspace align well with its purpose as a factory, while the quirky concept adds a layer of distinctiveness. One of the things that set Flush Factory apart is its dramatic cliffside placement. The visually striking and scenic views offer a level of beauty rarely seen in Fortnite's industrial locations. This positioning brings a unique charm to the factory, and while the salty sea air might raise concerns about corrosion, it also gives the location a rugged and weathered character that fits its purpose as this age-old industrial building. Many would say that the architecture lacks significant variety, and although it may not be the most eye-appealing structure, the mix of these horizontal, vertical, and diagonal elements has almost a sense of improvisation, but is also structurally thought out. Although the surrounding area remains sparse, the factory's thematic cohesion and integration with its setting make it a standout amongst Fortnite's more understated locations. Its identity, while simple, feels cohesive and memorable. It's not as dynamic as the best suburban or urban location, but it is a memorable part of Fortnite's map legacy. This scenic charm and unique concept earns itself a deserved spot in the B tier. Moving on to our second farmland location, Fatal Fields is an expansive farmland that perfectly encapsulates the rural aesthetic. Its layout is centered around a sprawling barn, complemented by stables, silos, and smaller sheds scattered across the fields. The architecture draws from traditional American agrarian styles with weathered wooden structures and functional designs that reflect the location's agricultural purpose while also giving it an almost nostalgic feel. The surrounding farmland adds a unique layer to Fatal Field's design. Unlike Anarchy Acres, the neatly arranged crop fields and open pastures create a sense of order and purpose while maintaining visual appeal. Accessibility is one of Fatal Field's strongest points. The pathways and clear sightlines connecting the main structures ensures smooth navigation throughout the area. The addition of desired pathways replicates reality and the presence of life and the illicit trails created by people. The rural theme is seamlessly integrated into the map, creating a cohesive and immersive environment. The lush fields and rustic buildings feel authentic and evoke a sense of comfort and nostalgia amidst the chaos of battle. It's a location that offers an architectural charm. For its immersive rural design, versatile layout, and strong thematic execution, Fatal Fields achieves what other farmland locations couldn't, earning its spot as an AT location. Last but not least, Moisty Mire presents a distinct swampy aesthetic. With murky waters, dense trees, and scattered patches of land, it's safe to say that this location is one of a kind. While visually unique, the area itself lacks meaningful architectural development. The few structures it does contain, such as a small weathered shack and makeshift platforms, are rudimentary at best. These buildings fail to bring any functional or aesthetic significance to the location. The setting itself, however, offers untapped potential. The interplay between waterlogged terrain and dry land could have been an opportunity to incorporate creative architectural solutions such as elevated structures or designs that embrace and utilize the swamp's natural challenges. Unfortunately, Moisty Mire falls short of realizing this potential, leaving players with an environment that feels stagnant rather than inspiring. Navigating Moisty Mire is another challenge, as the swampy terrain and shallow waters impede movement and create awkward transitions between land and water. While the dense trees provide some visual intrigue, they don't enhance the location's functionality or narrative, and is ultimately a place most people would want to avoid in real life. Its unique identity as a swamp could have been its greatest strength, but because of its lack of meaningful architecture and failure to capitalize on its terrain, Moisty Mire will complete today's ranking, but unfortunately, it deserves no higher than a D tier. And here are my final rankings. It's fascinating to see how each location in Fortnite's OG map brings its own character and architectural identity to the table. Every spot offers something unique, whether in design, theme, or context. Just remember that these rankings are based entirely on my opinions, and I'd love to hear how you would rank them. In the end, the beauty of architecture lies in its subjectivity, so how you interpret these locations and connect with them is completely up to you.